Peace, everybody. Welcome. Mikey-Ice is going live with the legend B-Boy Crumbs. Donnie from the infamous Style Elements crew. We're going to be talking on some history with the return of Lords of the Floor and a lot of amazing topics that's never really been talked about. So I'm glad that you guys joined. What's up, Dave? This one's about to be fire. I'm glad you joined in, Dave. It's about to get crazy, though, bro. We about to go there. So, yeah, Crumbs, if you can jump in, request to join the video, and then we can start. What up, Dave? Just waiting for our Crumbs to jump on right now. All right, cool. Let's see.
All right.
Mikey-Ice, what's up, brother?
Oh shit,
We
B-Boy
back in the
Blitz.
house, 209, baby.
209. You know what's crazy? A lot of people didn't know Madeira was the
Yeah,
209.
and Fresno. They don't know,
And
man.
Fresno.
Is it still? Is it still? Do you know?
They changed it to 559.
Ah, that's whack. It's
Yeah.
the 209, baby. It's the 209.
It was, yeah, because I got my old B-Boy flyer. It said Mikey Ice Presents, the one that you showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And then it had my phone number. It said 209
Yeah, no, I
675.
remember. That's how I remember Fresno. Fresno was like the end of it, right? It was Fresno, Madera. You
Exactly.
had Modesto, Turlock, Merced, Stockton. Yeah, all the way down, man.
Right. And it just changed though. But yeah, Donnie, I just want to say thank you for doing this though, bro. I know like you're super busy and I really appreciate it because like especially with me and you, like my history and your history, bro, it goes back like at least 30 years. And
Yeah,
for
it's
me,
crazy.
that's crazy because like that's like in B-Boy timeline, that's like bro, that's not even old school. That's like a solid ass like friendship is use my French though, but because like everything's so internet though, bro. Like you make a friend, by the end of the month, he already unfollowed you, so there goes your friendship.
Yeah, but we came up in the era pre-internet days, so we I like to say we have the best of both worlds,
Right,
we could
right, right.
resort to what's going on now, but we still have that mentality of how it was before the Matrix, you know what I'm saying? So
Right. So Don, I wanted to drop something on you though, bro, because I know, I'm the king of throwbacks, but I wanted to show you something, before we start this interview, all
let's
right?
get it. Let me see.
So when I show it to you, tell me what's the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay. Uh, Gons. That's the first
Guns.
thing that comes to my mind. Gons, man. He made that logo. That's the original Style Elements logo. That's beautiful right there, man. I'm
Right.
surprised you still have that.
I got it though, bro. When you guys first had put me down, like everybody got changed. You remember that? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we had got changed, and I try to keep everything. A lot of things I did lose, but there's certain things that I was like, bro, like that piece right there was like it was a big deal for me.
That's a collector's item, man. I mean, maybe 30 years from now,
Oh
it'll
yeah,
be
like
worth
I'm
some
gonna
good
try to
money.
hold on to it, and do you still have yours? Because I know everybody had got one at the time.
Bro, I didn't even remember that it existed till you just showed me it. So no, I don't have one anymore. I wish I did. I had one at one point, but it was totally, out of sight, out of mind. So I saw that, I was like, oh shit, we made those. Yeah, crazy
Okay,
stuff.
cool. So yeah, Donnie, the return of Lords of the Floor, bro. Like I want to ask you, what's what's your mindset going returning back into Lords of the Floor, knowing that the events that you entered before, like freestyle session and stuff like that, you like what's your mindset compared to like entering like a freestyle session, returning back to Lords of the Floor? Like, Are you going to do like a special training regimen for that?
Well, you know, I may or may not be
Okay.
doing Lords of the Floor. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh,
it's like one of those things.
okay.
But the training never stops. My
Yeah.
breaking lifestyle for me, if people that follow me, man, they see like I put up videos of me training like it's me going out for a run. You know what I mean? Like it's just always new content, because that's my lifestyle. So I'm always in shape. I'm always training, man. I've been doing this nonstop, like, you know, for 31 plus years. You know, a lot of people stopped for 10 years or maybe took a 6-month break or, you know, whatever. Not me. Like I'm one of those guys that just pushed through all the injuries and never stopped since I started, since I was 13 in 93. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people weren't around, you know, all the new generation weren't around to see that and don't know, you know.
Mm,
So but there aren't many people in the scene that have done that. You
right.
know what I'm saying? It's usually like they leave and come back, and you know, I'm one of those guys that are left. So training is like eating dinner.
Yeah.
You know, it's just something that I do. It's a lifestyle. You know.
Do you feel too like when you enter something like that, a 2-on-2, to have good chemistry with your partner that you guys should train together, like how you and Jay did when you guys would go the best of the best?
Yeah, of course. And same goes for full crew competitions. You know,
Okay.
like the more you're around each other, training, vibing, um, the chemistry builds, right? Like what we got going on more today in these competitions, because it's usually when they say a crew battle, it's usually like 3-on-3, you know what I'm saying, or something
Okay.
like that, or maybe a 2v2. But cats usually pick people that aren't even in their crew, you know, like another good person from here, another good person from there, and come together. And they don't train together, they don't have any chemistry, but they're all amazing, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
they just come together and do solos, but they're missing that. You could tell it's not a real crew, you know. So
Oh,
there's, you know, it depends on what you like, really, man. You know, left and right.
yeah.
You know, I come from the school of being down with your crew and staying true to your crew and doing crew competitions with your crew. And but that's just me. That's the era that I came up in. It's different now, you
Right.
know.
It's totally different now. Yeah, I was there, so I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like a different it's different, a different mentality. I see a lot of people joining up with other people because they're popular, you know. So it's kind of like, yeah, put you down with me though, bro. Let's enter and see if we can just get the money.
Yeah, and it's the landscape of what's going on today, as far as like more people doing that, trying to get the W, you know, because everybody else is doing it, you know. So
Hmm.
if they know, hey, if we come in there legit with my two best friends, like we're probably not going to win. So they go the other route, you know.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's a personal decision on everybody, but I understand the pressure to go the other way, you know. But
right.
they're everybody's put in that position now for a lot of different reasons. You know, there's nobody to blame. It's just it is what it is. You know, we're in
Hmm.
this generation now, and that's what's going on.
Right. So now that you know what, the first time, the second was the first time. The first time I seen Lords of the Floor, I was in Madeira though, right? And I'm watching the tape, and I hear we need style elements and the boogie brats to the
Mm.
floor. And when I heard that, I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be crazy though, bro. I want to ask you, when you heard that, was that the battle that you were looking for? When you knew that you could
Yeah.
face K-Mel and Migas
Oh yeah.
out of everybody that was there?
Of course, man. Yeah, that was the one that we really wanted, like, cause it was due. It was overdue. You know what I mean? People were talking about it for at least 2 years at that point, because I believe they came onto the scene. Boogie Brats, I'm talking about, really started making noise like '99, 2000. You know, it
Okay,
in my from what I've seen when they released their video.
just to prove a
Um,
point.
yeah. And so, you know, they gained, you know, a lot of people started talking about them, and they got a lot of he got a lot of love, and so obviously people style him as Boogie Brats. Let's make it happen. And Lords of the Floor is when it happened, at least a 2-on-2 version. You know, it wasn't like a full crew on crew, but
So who won that one? Did you guys
no,
win or they won?
they won.
Oh, what did you think about that when you found out the decision? What was your thoughts?
Um, bad decision, you know. But then
Okay.
it's like this, man. Like people will say, "Oh, you're just a sore loser." You know what I'm saying? Like, "Oh, you make excuses, you blame the judges, and all this stuff." And anybody with 2 eyes can see, you know. Like, just go
Yeah.
watch it. Just
Okay.
go watch it.
Yeah, that was dope. That was dope. Um, I wanted to talk about the the Cesar Chavez, the Maddox Community Center, because I seen a video of you yesterday, bro. And like when I seen that video, I was like, bro, I remember when the B-boys would take up the whole entire gym and break. And I
Yeah.
remember there was a little section where people would play basketball. But I think right around that time is when I first started coming to Modesto, you know.
Hmm.
And I seen you doing flares though, bro. And when I seen you doing flares, I remember I remember that though, bro. I remember like that was the place for Modesto. And I want to ask you, could you
Yeah,
kind
and I'll
of
say,
reflect?
like, on the tip, like, you know, when you usually go to a gym like that, it's usually the ballers, the basketball cats are taking up the whole space, and the b-boys are trying to get a little spot, you know. Not there, not that time. We always had that whole spot, and the ballers would have their little sliver of a spot. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's how Modesto was with the break-in, man. Like, people sleep on the 209, man. We was heavy. We was heavy.
So many crews though, bro. Like when I see how big the circle was, I was like, damn, I remember that though, bro. I remember that community center it was a place to be though, bro. So would you say for you, was that kind of like your launching ground or was it really out of your garage?
I would say my garage for sure.
Your garage.
Yeah. But I would go there a lot, obviously. But in my garage, man, I mean, hundreds of thousands of hours, you
I
know?
know.
Like, yeah, just all day, all night, every day.
Yeah.
So that, man, there's a lot of history right there, you know?
I, Now that I look back on it, because now I live in LA, you know, I look back on the 209 and stuff like that, and I feel like there needs to be a documentary about the Central Valley because I feel like with breaking going into the Olympics and everybody's going to be trying to get everybody's story. I feel like the Central Valley is a huge integral piece for breaking for the West Coast.
Yeah.
I love the Bay, I love LA, but something about the 209 was just like we had an energy that LA didn't
Mm-hmm.
have, that San Francisco didn't have. And if you came to the 209 with the socks in the shoes, you know, the corduroy pants,
Sock
you
rock.
know, like it was so different though, bro. And like I want to ask you, like, what do you think about that? Do you think that the 209 should have it should be a documentary about the 209?
Bro, I'm working on stuff. I'm always working on stuff. I've had that idea of doing a documentary for a long while now, and there could be like several documentaries because the 209 is deep, but the 209 changed the world, man, and that's really a fact as far as in the
Mm-hmm.
breaking scene in the hip hop world. Yeah, and as the stories do need to be told, and just like you, I collected a lot of footage. I filmed from when I started breaking until now. You know, I'm one of those guys, and you know what it is because you did the same thing: document, document, document. And so I got a lot of those hall
Oh,
jams from trying to flavor
really?
parties, all the ciphers, everything that was going on. You know, all the craziness.
Because I remember you got a
That's where
camera
the
right
stock.
after me. I remember you got a camera right after me.
Yeah, always had a camera, man. Always. Because, you don't document, it's lost, man.
Hmm. And another thing that I wanted to share, you know, like Modesto's Boogaloos. I want to ask you,
Mhm.
did you ever go to Boogaloos?
Yeah, yeah, I practice there a lot.
Oh,
Yeah, I would go there with Ivan.
oh shoot.
Yeah, Hulk is a spot.
I remember I walked in there, bro, and they had a checker linoleum on the
With
floor.
the lockers and a big fan. Yeah, and the DJ set up right behind, the record store, sold some gear, a little bit of gear. Yeah, man, right downtown Modesto.
Bro, I know things are different now, bro, but it was like the Bronx to me though. Modesto was like the Bronx to me because that's where I would go. I would go under the 6th Street Bridge and I would see Hocus's piece, his graffiti that was under the bridge. I would go down there and take pictures, you know,
Yep.
and it was just I just wanted to ask you though too, you know, you coming out of the 209, which is Modesto, like why was it so important for you to practice like all those hours though? Because I would break, but I used to hear about you guys would go like from 7 or 8 to like maybe about 5 in the morning. And I used to think like that's insane though, bro. Like what drove you to want to like put in so many hours living in a place where basically there was pretty much nothing there. Everything existed like in the big cities. So what drove you to want to put that many hours into breaking living in Modesto?
It's easy, man. The love for the art, you know, and the type of person I am, I guess when I found what I'm truly supposed to be doing in life, and when you understand that, it hits you different, man, and you don't want
Yeah,
to wait, you don't want to waste time, you know, especially in my youth, because you know you can go. So I just wanted to milk it and every drop, every don't waste time, and of course we wanted to be the best, man, you know,
yes.
and we knew what was out there, we knew what we were up against, so you know we didn't fuck around. we
Hmm.
we we put that time in, that overtime, mad OT, you know, and then wake up and do it again, you know, and that got us to the level that we got to really fast, a lot faster than we thought,
I
you know.
remember I brought you over to my house one day, bro, before you had the blazer. I went to go pick you up and I brought you back to my apartment and it was during the time when you had this Adidas tracksuit that I think that you had got from France. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember I was sleeping and I woke up, bro, and you were practicing in the front room like at 7 in the morning. And I'm thinking like, bro,
The lifestyle.
we just broke all night. What are you doing? Like you would just wake up and start doing sets and threads in the front room, and I'm thinking like, this dude is almost too hardcore.
Yeah,
I was like, he's more hardcore than me.
yeah, it's an obsession, man. You know, like, but in a good
Yeah.
way. You know, it doesn't like take over my personal life, like outside of breaking and stuff. But it's definitely an obsession. You know,
Hmm.
and it's just if I'm not doing it, then I don't feel right. You know,
Okay, I know what you're saying, and I think you're. Are you a Virgo or what are you?
a Libra,
You're you just missed it, huh?
Libra. Yeah, September. The balance.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. So, um, another thing too, I'm just kind of reflecting, going back, you know, because a lot of times, you know, a lot of when I do these interviews, a lot of people you don't really know our history together and stuff like that. But I wanted to ask you, do you remember the first time that me and you that we met each other?
Man, was it at your jam?
No.
No. Yeah, my memory's horrible, man. But I remember your jam was like 93 or something like that. So it was far back. But
Yeah.
I remember the earliest memories I have kicking it with you was at your jam and also at like a club in Fresno. Um, but yeah, where was it? What do you remember?
Okay.
What's
The
the
first
first?
time I remember, there was there was a party in Modesto, I think at the Armory Hall or the Legion Hall,
Legion Hall.
and Hokie was DJing
Yeah.
the Legion Hall, and you was breaking there, but you didn't have no shoes on,
Yeah.
and I was watching
Early
you.
90s.
Yeah,
That's how we did it in the early 90s, man. Sock rocking. Because we used to practice on carpet, you know, so you know you can't have the shoes on the carpet.
I remember that you were breaking, and the floor was slippery, and you had no socks on, and I remember like I was like okay, and you was breaking with another little black dude, and he used to do power moves. He was really good at doing UFOs. I don't know if you remember him.
Um, oh, Asian dude?
Black dude, little black
Oh,
kid. He
black
was the
dude.
only black. He was the only black kid in Modesto that could do power.
Shit,
From what I seen, he
bro,
was a
my
friend of
mind is,
yours.
yeah,
Okay,
but my brain is fried.
so I seen you there, and then that's when Tino and Ariston showed up, and like we didn't know each other. So what
Hmm.
ended up happening? Long story short, you said like you have a place to practice. So I said, okay, you guys can ride with me, and then I took you to your house.
Hell yeah, and we probably practiced right then and
We
there.
did. We practiced some more, and you remember we had the I
Yeah,
had the cameras.
we would. I'm saying we would go from breaking at a jam all night and then go to my garage and break till the sun came up. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like the after party
Yeah,
training, like all the time.
that was my first memory with you, and I remember it was such a fun time though, bro.
The
And I
best
would just kind
times.
of like, yeah, some of the best times because like being around you and like everybody else, like it pushed me to want to like step up like my game though too though. Even though like I already knew what I was doing, but when I would see you guys like create, I used to think to myself like, yo, I got to get my footwork together. I got to come up with some more new freezes because
Yeah.
you guys started a new vocabulary.
Yeah, but you were very pivotal too, like around in the 209. Not only as a dancer, but as a historian too, like because you did collect before us. You know, you
Yeah.
did a lot of history before us. Like I was younger. You know, I
Hmm.
was the youngest. So I didn't see any footage, and it was a good thing because we developed our own style, and you know what I mean. But then you came in and showed us footage, and like start to learn the fundamentals, and then start to put it together. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Start to make it make sense. So it was
I
all we're
remember
all
that.
put together. We're all put together for a reason. Like
Yeah.
looking back.
I, I remember that. I remember that was a dope time. So with the Lords of the Floor, is it going to be the same setup, like the way that they had, like like the seating and stuff like that? Is it, is it going to be the same
I
setup?
think so. I think so, but who knows till it
Hmm.
happens. I I told them that was the best setup for a jam that I've ever competed at, you know,
Right.
and we'll see if if they do that again or not. And it's
Yeah.
crazy, like no events have had that like that setup
No.
ever since. And I'm telling you, it was the best for a competitor. It was the best because
Hmm.
you had the energy on top of you from those high bleachers from every angle coming straight down onto us, and you could feel it, like it's
Hmm.
intense, like some
Hmm.
Fight Club shit, but high bleachers. It was closer, and the floor was dope too, and the energy was just it was on point. And
Right. Right. Right.
that's
Okay.
the era we were in too, as far as the energy. Like you got to understand, like we're talking about 2001, 2002. This everybody in the crowd was seeing these original moves for the first time. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
so it blew their mind,
Mm.
right? And now everybody's seeing everything. So
Hmm.
everybody's just like, where's my phone? Let me scroll through.
That's
So let me
it,
get on Tinder.
bro.
The swipe. Oh, it's a match. Like they just on
That's
Tinder,
it.
And it is what it is,
Yeah.
but those times was fucking the
I
best. The best.
I know,
The
bro.
crowd, the energy, the breakers, the originality, the signatures left and right,
Hmm.
characters. Um, yeah,
Okay.
nothing like it. For me, the
Right.
golden age, the golden era.
Yeah. Excuse me if I'm so random. There's just so many questions I wanted to ask you, but this one I wanted to ask you that everybody's watching since we have a good amount of people. The hand hop.
Mm.
Like that's probably the most copy fundamental foundation move that I see because everybody could do it. And I want to ask you, like, what made you want to take that and extend it? Because the first time I seen it was on Radiotron when Oracle did it, but he did two
Yeah,
hops.
me too. That's the first
Okay.
time I saw it.
Oh, you
But
see?
it's
Okay.
I'm actually I got a new series that I'm doing, and I did one called The Breakdown, and I break down certain things throughout my career and everything. And the next one I'm doing is actually on the one hand hops, and there's a lot of cool stuff, a lot of history. But long story short, like break it down, Oracle's the first person I saw do it, but he did it reverse hand, like in a reverse circle.
Oh,
And he did like
that's true.
3 hops. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
He did it the way that Ruin does it, like reverse, inside, right?
Inside.
Yeah, the way I did it was straightforward. It's still in a circle, but it's straightforward and it's closer together, not so wide, so I can hop as many times as I want. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? So
okay.
I made it continuous, and then I added the power on top of it. I would go to 90 with no hand, like flares, and keep comboing out of
Hmm.
it and stuff like that. But yeah, and I I didn't see anybody else do it besides Oracle and then me. And then like in 2006, I was doing this commercial for Golf GTI, a car in London, and I was doing it with Elsewhere, my boy David,
Mm.
and he we're at the bar having a drink, and he asked me a question. He goes, "Yo, have you ever seen The Man with Two Brains?" It's a movie with Steve Martin, you know?
Okay.
And I was like, no. He's like, he does hand hops in there? I was like, get the fuck out of here.
No.
And yeah, there's a scene where, and it's that movie is, I think, is the 80s, you know?
He
And there's a scene where he
does
gets
it?
pulled over. Yeah, he gets pulled over, and he's, and the cop gives him a sobriety test. And instead of walking the line, he hops on his hand. He does hand
No, I'm
hops.
gonna look it
Yeah,
up, bro. What's the name of it?
The Man with Two Brains.
The Man with
Yeah.
Two Brains.
Look for the sobriety test scene. Yeah, it's probably on YouTube or something. And then that set me off, like when the internet came out and stuff like that, I started searching more and I saw black and white footage of cats doing it in the circus, you know. So
Oh,
it's definitely been
okay.
done before, but Orko took the reverse, did 3 hops. I took it stationary, unlimited into combos, and the rest is history.
Right.
And when I did it, like at Battle of the Year, it just the whole world took it. It just exploded. Everybody and their mama was doing hand hops. you know,
Yeah. I wanted to ask you too, like when everybody started doing it, what made you want to stop doing it? Because I noticed you just stopped doing it.
because everybody was doing
And
it.
everybody just continuing. People start taking off their clothes, putting on their shoes,
Yep.
eating dinner.
But I was doing that first. I would hand hop, take off my hat,
Yeah.
put it back on, go into 90 with no hand, like without touching the other hand. I would smoke a cigarette and hand hop, go to flares, windmill 90. Like I did all that. I did all that already before these cats took it.
Yeah.
So some moves, man. If everybody else is doing it, it's not fun anymore to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what it was
and,
for
and
you. It
it's a
wasn't
it's
fun
a
anymore.
yeah, it's a beautiful thing, because some moves become bigger than you. Like it became a future foundation. That's what I call it. Like moves that
Hmm.
really like hit the world hard, and everybody started doing. It's a future foundation because it's in everybody's toolbox now. Not everybody's, but
Majority
it's like
of
yeah.
everybody though, bro. Especially in
So
Brazil.
yeah, man, and yeah, I mean these cats, they flipped it. They're doing crazy ass shit with it. Like I'm 44, man. I'm on to other things.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so crazy. I get it though, bro. Um, if you had any advice to give to like the newer generation about just like being loyal to crew, how to train, maybe some mistakes that you've seen in the past, like what would you pass on to today's generation that's watching this video today? What advice would you give to them?
For longevity,
Yes.
man, just don't stop. Don't stop. Listen to your body. Have balance. Like the way you eat, the way you train. You can't just bust your ass all the time in training, trying crazy shit. You're gonna beat yourself up, and you'll be done in like 5 years.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I've seen it happen to a lot of people. They come and go. They're hot for a year, and then you never see them again because they just beat their
Mm,
body up, or maybe they lost the passion. Who knows? But,
mm-hmm.
yeah, training smart, listening to your body, um, everything in moderation. Like as far as like whatever your vice is, if you know it's bad, don't do it a lot. Don't let it take over,
Yeah.
um, and be honest with yourself. Um, And that's what it is, man. That's what I do is work for me. I'm, like I said, I'm 3 decades plus deep, never stopped, and my body definitely feels it, but I work around
Mm-hmm.
it, because I listen. I know what areas hurt, but luckily for me, I have such a deep fucking arsenal that I can do other things, and I
Right.
am constantly creating. I'm constantly reinventing myself. Yeah, that's what I do. So
Okay.
that's also important too. As you age, you got to reinvent yourself, and that's part of being honest, with yourself. There's
I
like
think.
for me, the best thing I ever did in the beginning when I started is made I was working on my own lane, right? And I
Mm,
stayed in my own lane from when I started till now,
mm-hmm,
and that's probably why I'm still around,
mm,
you know? And that's probably the best advice I can give anybody. Like everything's important, the fundamentals, and to be well-rounded, but create your own lane because
mm.
then there's only one you, right?
Right.
So, and people will copy but it's a compliment, man.
I think branding is important though too, because I remember at a young age, like you were already branding yourself before Instagram and stuff like that. So I think that should be also something that the B-boy community should strive for, to have your own brand, which is your own company, so you
Yep.
can have your own merchandise, and I think that's not really discussed too much in the B-boy world. And I wanted to ask you about that. Like, don't you think that's very important too, just as well as training, is having a brand for yourself, so 10 years from now that you can still be marketable?
Absolutely, man. I mean, as far as breaking, I think I've pretty much done all there is to do, as far as like from competing to the raw ciphers to the theater work to the entertainment industry, like on and on and on, right? Done
Mm-hmm.
it all. So I've seen everything that goes on, and 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 all that shit comes and goes, you know. The only thing that really stays is the cipher and the raw, the roots, right?
Right.
Most companies you work with, they don't, it comes and goes. It's a business transaction. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The entertainment world, the entertainment industry, like you work with an artist for only so long, and then it's on to the next, right?
Oh
Like
yeah.
so, you can't get caught up in those things. You got to stay grounded and stay true to your roots. And when I say true to your roots, that means yourself and your brand, right? Because your
Mm-hmm.
brand will never leave you. Everything else will. Trust me, it will.
Oh.
You think something's concrete, motherfucker? It's not. It's not. You're not safe. Nobody's safe unless you own your own company, unless you have your own brand. Now you make the rules. It's under your
Ooh.
guidelines. You know what I'm saying? And
Does
and that's
breaking
what it
have
is. It took me
that?
what?
Does breaking have that today?
Have what?
People that can say like they own their own company and they can make the
Yeah.
rules.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, not a lot, but people are waking up and
Okay.
they're working on it. You know what I'm saying? Like I wish I would have done that a long time ago. Like you're right. I always considered myself a brand, but it took me a long time to really push it because I was
Ooh,
doing
okay.
all these other things for other people, for other companies, for other entities,
Mm-hmm.
that I wasn't pushing my brand like I should have been, so but I am now and I have been for the past like 10 years, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it took me a while to kind of figure that out.
Okay.
That's number one. That should be number
Right.
one for everybody. You know.
Yeah. That's true though. I remember, I think it was like the early days when DVDs came out. Massive Monkey had a DVD called the 206 Step.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
So can you tell me the concept? Like, where did you get the idea for Six Step Academy? And what is Six Step Academy to people that are watching today?
hmm Six step. SICK. It's just a play off of six step, the number. But sick is a word that we always used in the 90s, like in
Mm,
the 80s. You said fresh. For us, it was that sick. That was always our
Okay.
our language. That's sick. That's dope. So it's a play off of Six Step and the word from the 90s. So Six
Mm.
Step is my company that I came up with way back in 2000. And at first, it was a production company for our Style Elements videos, because I edited all our most of our Style
Mm.
Elements videos. I did the music, you know, everything, filmed. And so I would put Six Step Productions presents Style Elements, blah, blah,
Oh,
blah, whatever the video
okay.
was, right? Or my solo video, Brainstorm. And so it was a production company first. And so, you know, later on, I turned it into a school, because I was teaching all around the world. And, you know, I wanted to really like start my own academy. And,
Mm.
you know, what's better than what I had, Six Step Academy. I mean, that's my roots right there. So I just kept with that and started pushing with that. And hopefully, you know, I can open up a chain around the US
Mm.
and possibly
Mm.
globally, you know, throughout the years. We'll see. But yeah, that's one thing that
Okay.
I'm really trying to work on and push, you know. But yeah, Six Step Academy, it's the AAA, athletic, authentic, you know, and artistry, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what, me personally, that's what my whole career has been based on, and that's what I'm trying to push to
Okay.
everybody through Six Step.
Somebody else, people are dropping funny comments in the comments. Somebody had just popped up out of nowhere. They was asking if you're going to enter the Lords of the Floor, and obviously we talked about it earlier. But is there any specific reason why that you might pull back? Because I know you've been invited to it. Why wouldn't if you've been invited to it, like why wouldn't you want to participate in it?
It's not that I don't want to participate in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Fine.
we'll see, you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just one of those things, man. If the stars align, then we're gonna get it, you know.
All right. All right. Cool. The Coco Poo Poo Porcupine pubic hair video that was epic. But I've always wanted to ask you, whatever happened to a batch of sick cookies?
Never came out. Never came out, man. That was the last video that we were working on together. So Strategic Monsters was myself, Remind, and Gons, and then Batches of Cookies was supposed to be J Rock, Tommy Boy, and Poe One.
What?
So we were
I
doing three
never knew
members
that.
at a time, right? And then they lagged on it, and so we did another video, Cockapoople Porcupine Pubic Hairs, which was Remind again, Super Dave, and Boss One.
Okay.
And then they were supposed to do it after that one, and then they lagged again. You know, not everybody was like on it. You know,
Oh, okay. I
there
got you.
you
I
know,
never knew that you broke
different
it down like that.
jobs, life, family, different situations. You know, for us, this is what we were doing full time. So I get it. You know.
Hmm.
Mhm. But yeah, and then after that came our solo videos, Remind and Minds, and then after that, YouTube fucked everything up. You know, it's like no more selling fucking videos. You know, it's all for free now. It's like, all right,
Bro,
we gotta adapt.
Arista's sister told me though, bro, that you guys were selling like videos like crazy though, bro.
Oh man, my library is very extensive. It's amazing. Yeah,
I want to talk
I'm.
about that real quick. How successful was the strategic monster video for you, knowing that that was your first video? Because I remember you said you were going to Kinko's to do the cover, and I remember you
Mhm.
had the machine set up. Once you guys got them into production, like when you were selling them, did it like blow your mind that it was like, damn, bro, we're selling out more than we can keep them?
Yeah, yeah, it really was, because we didn't really know what to expect, you know. Really, because I finished producing that video right before Battle of the Year, like maybe like a couple months before. So they were set like we would go to Japan and bring this before Battle of the Year. We would go to like
Okay.
Japan and like print up 50 copies, because I was doing it by VCR to VCR. You know, that's how I edited it with the title maker, hook up the turntables to the back of the VCR, like no computers.
Oh,
It wasn't
Ooh.
even a thing yet, you know? So we'd have to
Mm-hmm.
like, I would have to edit clip by clip, come around and put the music back in later and match it up. Like it was some science, you know, and I was like 16 years old doing that shit. Um, and so anyways, I would print up as many
Yeah.
VHSs as I can before we'd go on an international trip. So printing up 50 took a long time, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, okay, I got 50 done. Okay, cool. We go out to Japan, we'd sell out in like 5 minutes, like all 50
Damn.
copies, you know, like $50 a pop, you know?
Oh, for a
And,
tape?
huh?
How much are you selling the tapes for in US
They
dollars?
were in demand, so we would sell for like $50 a tape, you know. But the video was like an hour and 45 minutes, you know. It was like I made sure that people got their money worth, you know. Like that video is classic, you know. That
Yeah.
video is never gonna die, and that was our first video, our first VHS, and for what I had to work with at the time, I think I knocked it out the park. You know, give myself a pat on the back for that one. You know,
Everybody
because there
loved
was
that
nothing, there
video,
was nothing
bro.
like it. There was
No,
nothing like it. Dude.
the skit. I think the skits that you guys did in the video was really pushed it compared to just watching like somebody just break. I think the skits
Yeah,
that you guys did, you guys were the first people in breaking to do skits.
it brought our personality out. You got to hang out with us in a way. You know what I'm saying? Get to know who we are, how silly we are. We were kids, you know, fucking around, and you know, and here, but we're some fucking badass b-boys too. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
Ooh,
when we're not breaking, this is the kind of shit we'd be on, right? Like, and that's what it was. Like we were showing different elements and different style elements. That's it.
that video, bro, it was at Mr. Rags. It was, bro, everybody that I know, when I do an interview with them, the B-boys from the 90s, everybody said they started off with the Style Elements tape.
Mm. Yeah, man, it circulated. Yeah, it was in all the malls across America. And Mr. Rags, we had an
How'd you
account.
guys get it? How'd you guys get it in those stores?
Mr. Rags, they hit us up, and we, you know, we made a deal with them and got them in all the stores in the mall around the U.S. Yeah, that was a big account, man. Yeah,
I
all that
never
shit.
knew that.
I'm telling you, all that shit died when YouTube came out. YouTube changed the world, you know, but you know, for good and bad. But you know, back in those days, that was our means of income. You know, like we made decent money selling our videos and our art like that. So, but now art is free. You know,
Yeah, that's
but which
cool,
is like,
man.
you know, it's crazy, you know, because you know, you look at the NBA, you look at NFL, you look at all these athletes, these famous athletes. They don't. Their art isn't free.
Oh, oh yeah, that's
You know what I'm
true.
saying? But when it comes to dancers and us, it's
Hmm.
just a different game.
Okay. One more question I can ask you because I know the time is getting short. Um, when it comes to like B-boys being financially like really stable, what do you think it would take for people or the B-boys to start achieving that? Do you think that once it hits the Olympics in Paris, do you think that it will start opening up like avenues for people to start increasing their income as being B-boys?
I, I hope so. You know, nothing's concrete, nothing's guaranteed. I'll tell you that much. It could be one and done. You never know. You know what I'm saying? Or it could blow up and have a resurgence and really like take off and open the market, you know? And
Right?
we just gotta wait and see.
Yeah.
But I'm not just sitting on my ass. Like I'm doing my business and building my school and working on my company and working on my brand, like we talked about,
Right.
and always training, trying to stay relevant and just stay really like deep with my roots in this culture. And when it hits, if it does hit, I'm ready for it, you
Nice.
know. And I hope other people are too, you know, because that's what it takes to really for the to really help out the ecosystem of the underground, right? The real people in this
Mm,
culture, the real people that paved the way to get it to where it is today. If
mm,
not, they're just tossed, you know, nobody even cares, right? Like so we can't let that happen. And the only way to do that is to really take initiative and make it happen. You know,
right.
take yours. And I understand like we live in a crazy matrix world now, like the social media stuff, where if you don't post something in a week, you're retired. You know, that's just how people
What do
think.
you what do you what do you think I keep throwing up videos though, bro? I'm just like, dang, if I don't put up a video, bro,
Yeah,
your following to start going low.
yeah, and so it's a game, you know, and I look at my social media is just like my art gallery,
Okay.
right? Like I just throw art up, throw art up. I
I
don't
like
really get
that.
too personal. I don't get too
Yeah.
personal, you know. I don't let people in like that, and I like to keep my close circle tight. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Like,
cool. I'm cordial. I respond to everybody. Like I do all that, you know, and I do enjoy some parts of social media, but there's a lot that I can't get down with. So I understand like the people
mm,
that don't want to fuck with social media at all, right? Like I get it. And it sucks because people think they're retired. You know what I'm saying? But they could be training harder than me
right.
right now. You know what I mean? But just nobody knows because they're not posting it. And it's just a weird, you know, it's a
Mm.
system, it's a game that kind of needs, you got to play the game a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
It
Like
is.
if you
That's
want to stay
exactly what
relevant
it is.
today, you know, because it sucks, but that's just the way it is, man. But you can use social media balance, you know, find what works for you, where you don't feel like you're selling yourself out. You know what I'm saying? It's a tool. You can use it. You can put whatever you want on it. Nobody's telling you what to put. You know what I mean? You could push whatever agenda you're pushing. You could talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can break the way you want to break. You know, you don't have to like feel like you're selling yourself out. And you know, for everybody that doesn't like social media, I just want to like kind of express that, you know, because I have that side of me too, where I'm like, oh, fucking social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to break, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I gotta, you know.
right. Right.
But I when I really find my way, just like I found my way in breaking, I'm like, ah, okay, yeah, we can do this, no
Hmm.
problem. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was going on a little rant right there, but long story short, it's like,
I like
yeah,
it.
yeah, we gotta just build our own, and
Right.
this is the way to do it now. And these are the guidelines that we're given, and you gotta adapt and overcome.
Right. Okay. One more last question for you. DJ Trunks. He posted it up. He said, "Any thoughts on your recent 40 and over battle at the freestyle session?"
Um, okay, so I guess he's talking about this last one,
Right.
right? A couple months ago. Yeah, I was really disappointed. You know, I trained really hard for that, and I had a lot to show. You know, I had like, I was gonna put on a good show, but it wasn't meant to happen there. You know, I lost in
Mm,
the top 16. Top 16, they do one round, and you know, it's like I won the 40 and up battle 2 years ago, and
mm-hmm.
like you know, I've won freestyle sessions 6 times, like the most in history. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not like saying that to brag. It's just it's factual. You know what I'm saying? So some certain things and elements when I go, like especially going into a battle like in a top 16, like this past one, the guy that I battled, Data.
Data. Yeah.
Yeah,
Data juice.
I'll be honest with you. I don't like watch a lot of people. Like I don't watch a lot of footage, so I didn't know who he was. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like he's a good b-boy. I see that. I'm not saying I'm not like dissing him at all or whatever. But you know, I didn't really know who he was, and we're doing one round and we get out there and I'm like the returning champion. I've won freestyle session 6 times and he don't want to go out first. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Like for me that's kind of disrespectful
Okay.
because it's like bro, you're trying to take my title. Like freestyle session is my house. You know what I'm saying? Like I put in
Mm-hmm.
work here and you're gonna act like you're tying your shoe because you're too scared to go out first. You know what I mean? And you
Mm-hmm.
know me, I'm like, all right, fuck it, he's being a bitch, like I'm gonna go out. And that's what I did, you know. So I went out first, but it shouldn't be that way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like there should be some kind of just from mutual respect and honor for the game. Like if I'm battling one of my elders, I'm going out first. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Every time, just out of respect for the game and for that person, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So there was that, but honestly, in that one round, I think I definitely won, you know, but you're being judged. You know what I'm saying? Like judges have it's very subjective a lot of the times rather than objective, you know,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're judging just off left and right, right? And you're
Mm-hmm.
not looking at categories like we do for the Olympic qualifiers and stuff like that. It's very detailed and broken down, and you have to really dig in and look at all the elements. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I was just like, man, I lost, and I was like, well, that's it.
Would
That's
you be
it.
returning next year?
Nah, I, I think I'm done with that one. Because I don't feel. I, when I'm like the feeling that I felt the past 2 years was like they don't want to see me no more there.
Oh,
You know
okay.
what I'm saying? Like from the crowd just being dead and like whoever I battled, they're fucking going crazy for them doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, what's going on? Like this is weird. And you know, the DJ never gives me good music. I haven't had a good music in a battle or freestyle session since the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like they always give me
yeah.
crap. You know, it sounds like I'm making excuses. I'm just
No.
being free and telling you my reality and what it is and the way I think.
That's
You
why
know
I
what I'm saying?
brought
Like,
you on here, though, bro, because you can say whatever you want, and some people might pick and choose, like, what they take from it. But it's an open conversation, and I'm glad that you can express yourself and be honest, though,
yeah.
because, like how
And
you said,
listen, it's no diss to Data or anybody that I battle. You know what I'm saying? This is just my personal thoughts, and that's it. I
okay.
respect the judges. They all pointed his way. Cool. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
I feel like it was just another level, like that
Okay.
people weren't really grasping onto. And I also think like because I have a target on my back, that anybody that does good against me is just super heightened, like and blown out to the limit. But
Mm,
when they go back and watch the video, it's like they don't want to say anything. They're just like, you know, they're just like, all right, let's just leave that where it is,
right.
you know. And that's part of the
Man,
game, man.
thank you, Donnie. I appreciate it, bro. I know we did an hour, and that's all I really wanted from you.
Oh,
I want to
word,
say
yeah,
thank you.
that went by
For,
fast, man.
yeah, thank you for the conversation. Everything you said, I learned some new stuff though too. I'm always still learning about breaking though, even though I've been in it for a very long time. I still like to have open conversations with people because everywhere that I go, I was just at practice though yesterday in Long Beach, and this dude walked by and he looks at me. He was like, "Mikey-Ice." He's on Mikey-Ice TV's The Truth, though, bro. I'll be watching, and I was like, "Oh, shit, this is
Yeah, man,
crazy."
let me tell you, man, like we talked about it. We go way back before this Matrix, right? Like before any of this, and you were doing this shit way before all these YouTubers, you know?
Hmm.
Like you've been a collector since the day I met you.
Right,
You know what I mean? Like you've been a historian since the day I met you. Like you are ahead of the game, just like we were in breaking. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like the same thing. Like if social media was around in 93, you know how many followers
Oh
we would have right now?
my
You know what I'm
gosh.
saying? Like it wouldn't even be a comparison to, you know, the newer generations,
I
right?
never even thought
People
about
don't
it
think
like
about
that.
that stuff, but
Right.
it is what it is. But so it came later, you know, it's
It came
evolution.
later.
But we have to be honest, like just because you're doing this stuff now on social media doesn't mean like we weren't doing this 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like we put a blueprint on this game, Doug, for historian wise and breaking wise, physically.
30 years though, bro,
Plus,
to be doing something from that and to stay doing it at a high level, to me, that shit is even if people don't tell me in my mind, I know that it's crazy. I know that it's incredible. I know that it's going to be something that will be respected down the line because it's just too much history to not respect it.
yeah. So that's why I want to tell you, Mike. You already know, but I want to say it publicly, man. Like I have a lot of respect for you. You've stayed true to who you are and what you do, and keep doing it, man. Keep doing
Oh,
what
I'm
you're
gonna keep
doing.
doing it
You
though,
have
bro. Like,
your material it's like how I feel with my material in breaking, man. It's endless. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like you can go forever with what you got and you
yeah.
still collect. It's never stopped. So just keep it up, man. You're doing great
All
work,
right.
brother.
All right. Thank you, Crumbs, man, and thank everybody for watching. I hope you guys learned something. I learned something. You know what I'm saying? With Donnie representing.
Style Elements Crew, Monster Squad. Shout out to all the OGs, Remind, Poe One, J Rock, Tommy Boy, Super Dave, Boogie T, Mikey-Ice, Stunts, Ruin, Frankie Flav. Did I say Poe One? Poe
One more other
One.
person. One more other person. Gabe.
Gabe and Boss One. Like,
Oh,
you
there
know,
we
we
go,
roll
bro.
deep. Art Son, A Game, Dole, Madman. I mean, our crew's pretty deep. Marie Poppins, Pandora. It's universal. It's all elements of hip hop, style elements. We don't just represent one element. We're breakers, we're poppers, lockers, DJs, MCs, graffiti artists, writers, the whole nine, man. That's what it is. You know, so big love to everybody out there, the real hip hop crews out there holding it down. If nobody loves you, Style Elements loves you. And that's real.
Peace. Thank you, Donnie.
All right, brother. Talk to you
All
soon.
right, peace.
Like.